Alright, today I'm going to show you how to uh, use a website to plan a paramotor cross-country flight, and just some things that I do to make this happen. So the website's called iflightplanner. Click there, and then if you just go to, just type in a 4-letter identifier for a local airport, click go. Click here, and then map. Find a button to find the map. Okay, so once you're here, most people have seen this before. This is essentially Google Maps. So I'm going to find my local LZ, a spot that we take off from. So we'll say I'm going to take off from this field. I'm going to click there. There's the lat long coordinates. And then I dropped a point at KDHN, but I want to delete that or just move it. Okay, and then let's say I want to go to this little spot. Looks cool right here. So I'm going to drag this point there. Okay, so I know, hey, I'm going to take off from this point here, and I want to fly to this point here because it looks cool on Google Maps and I want to check it out. But we need to make sure that we're clear on airspace. So if you just select the satellite and go to sectional, and now we can see our VFR sectional. And what I can see is that my LZ is clear of airspace where I take off from, but as I'm flying, I pass through this little dashed magenta line right here, right around here. And so I don't want to fly through that. That's class E to the surface. That's part of the class Delta right here. So I want to avoid that. So what I want to do is I want to add a point by clicking on the route, and I'm going to fly around like this. And then just for ease of navigation, I'm going to add these points to these towers. Alright, so it's very easy to look up and see a tower on the horizon, and I kind of use that as a visual aid during my cross country. Hey, I fly straight south to that tower, go to the next tower down the road, and then I head to the west. Alright, now I can go back to satellite imagery, and I can just kind of study the route ahead of time. Okay, I'm going to take off here. I can follow this 123 highway down to the tower there. There should be a tower there, and then I head west to this cool looking spot, and that should keep me clear of airspace. Just to verify, go back to the sectional. Okay, yep, I'm clear of airspace. Okay, so we've determined a route that we want to fly, and we've made sure we're clear of airspace on the sectional. The next thing I want to do is get these coordinates. So if you just click on these waypoints, you have the coordinates there. And then now I'm going to punch these coordinates into my Garmin Fenix watch, and I'll show you how to do that. And that way when I'm flying, I can just navigate to these waypoints via my Garmin watch. Yeah, and then I don't have to use my phone in flight. So let me get my watch. I'll show you how to type that in, and then I'll demo that to you. Alright, so now we need to enter these coordinates into our watch. A couple things. The Garmin is not extremely intuitive, so I'll show you some tips to kind of help get started. First thing is you want to go to your settings. Let's hold this down. Let's go to settings, and then go down to system, and then go down to format, and then position format. So depending on where you get your coordinates from, like if you use iflightplanner, then this is the format you need to have selected. But if you get your coordinates from somewhere else, there's other formats you can select. I either use this format or I'll use the MGRS format. There's a ton on here. There's MGRS. So make sure that's set first so that the coordinates you get from the map you can type into your watch. So once you have that set, I will show you how to save this into your watch so that when you take off, you can navigate to that waypoint. So you can set different things. I've built a fly widget. I think that's what it's called. But you can just go to navigate. I think this defaults on the watch. So you go to navigate. You go down to coordinates. And this is where you can type in the coordinates. So the coordinates from the map that I showed you earlier, or one close to it, it's going to be 31 degrees, 13 minutes. So we change this to 13, 36, and then the last two digits we could just leave how it is. It doesn't need to be that accurate. Western Hemisphere, 85 degrees, 38 minutes, 13 seconds. So we'll change that to 38 and 13 seconds. Okay, and then we go done. Okay, and then this would navigate us there, but this is going to navigate us on the roads to get there. But if we're flying, we don't want to follow the roads, we want direct. So what you do is, now that you have that, you back out and you go to your fly app, or if you've built one. So I can go into fly, and then I'm going to go into this menu, and I'm going to do navigation, and I want to tell it I want to navigate to a saved location. So because we typed in the coordinates under navigation, now it is under save locations. So you go save locations, but the thing is, it's named it coordinates. That's what it defaults. It names every time you type in coordinates, it just names it coordinates. So now go into coordinates and then go to name. And then from here you can name it whatever you want to. So if you're taking off from the LZ, you can just name it LZ. If it's your first waypoint on your route, you can name it waypoint 1, like W1 for waypoint 1. I'm going to name this one LZ. Okay, so its name is LZ. And then now I select Go To. And so you can see now that the line drawn on the map is direct, and it's 8.48 miles away. And if you hold that map button down, you can go to pan zoom, turn by turn navigation. There's tons of settings. And the best way I found to get good with these Garmin watches is just to play with them. It does take time. So we can zoom out. And then if you select it again, it'll let you pan down. And then we can pan over. And then we can zoom back in. Yep. And there it is. So that's our LZ. And then, so once you're in the air, there's different menus you can select under this fly app that I've built. So this is like a distance remaining and an arrow that tells me the direction that I need to fly. Here I have the altitude, my altitude. So if you're needing to fly underneath or over airspace, you can use this barometric altimeter. Make sure you're clear of that. This is an estimated time en route, estimated time of arrival. So how long does it take to get there? What time will it be when you arrive? How far you have to go, and your current ground speed. This is an app that once it's started, it would display. So this has altitude, speed in miles per hour, estimated time en route, etc. That said livetrack started. I'll talk about that in a second. This is speed in knots, and this is a vertical speed per minute. It's not as accurate as like a Vario is, but it's accurate enough to give you like, hey, I'm climbing, or hey, I'm descending. So that's what that vertical speed is. And then the heading, and then the arrow here on the side is saying, hey, you need to fly that direction to get to your next waypoint. And then the time, and then music. This is glide ratio, heading, distance remaining, and your altitude. Yep, so you saw that once I started this activity, it said livetrack started. So the cool thing about these watches is you set it up, and if you have cell phone service, when you start an activity, it automatically sends an email to any email you want to of a link to a live track of your location. So how I have it set up is as soon as I start this, it sends an email to my wife, and she can click on the link, and then she can track me the whole time that I'm flying, see exactly where I'm at. So if anything ever happens, you kind of have at least someone who knows where you were last seen at. But the caveat to that is it has to have cell phone service. The navigation from the watch itself doesn't need cell phone service to work. So you can navigate across remote places, but if you want somebody to be able to track you down, you need cell phone service with this watch. Okay, I kind of did this out of order, but now I will show you how to build an app so that it shows the screens that you want to see, kind of like I just showed you before. So if you don't know how to do that, so you just go to Add. You're going to tell it what you want it to be. So you can select one of these already selected, or you can name your own. Let's see what we have here. Let's go Other. I'm just going to name it A for time, but you could name it Fly, Paramotor, whatever you want it to. And then now we want to go to Data Screen. So we want to tell it hey, what we want to see. So you can go 3 fields layout. Okay, field 1, we want this to be speed. I want to know how fast I'm going. And you can choose average speed, current speed, maximum speed, vertical speed. Yep, and the watch also shows you messages. All right, so speed, field 2, let's go to temperature, elevation, compass, navigation, distance remaining, bearing, course, glide ratio, location, destination location, estimated time of route. How long is it going to take me to get to my point that I'm navigating to? Field 3, you could change this to whatever you want it to. You want to know your heart rate? Put that on there. You can see if you're scared or not. Okay, so we have that set. That's that screen. Let's go to the next screen, and then same thing, we can change these. Let's go to a single layout, so just one, and then let me talk about Connect IQ fields. So Connect IQ fields are they're basically screens that someone else has already built. But it can show, there's a few on there if you search in the Garmin Connect IQ store that deal with flying and things like that. So you can search for flying, paramotor under Connect IQ, and then you can use those apps, and this is how you would upload them so that when you start this activity, you would see those fields. I already have, so I have flight instruments and flight fields. Those are the 2 Connect IQ apps that I use for paramotoring. Alright, so yeah, once you have this built, then you can back out of here. You can have maps, all kinds of things. And then it would display here at the top. And then, so when you're ready to go fly, you just go to your app that you've built, you select fly, and then select it one more time, and it starts it. And then if you have livetrack set up, then this is when it would send an email. There it goes. So that's just a quick tutorial on how to use the basic features of a Garmin Fenix watch. This is basically the features that I use for paramotoring, and this is the second Fenix watch that I've had, and I really enjoy them. I think they're worth the money. Just for the auto live track feature, it's very simple. 2 button clicks, 3 button clicks, and it's already live tracking. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to set anything up. The other thing I really like about these watches is I don't have to take my phone out in flight for navigation. It's on my wrist. I just look at it and I can know, hey, I need to go that direction. I'm going to fly for this long, etc. It also tracks your entire flight, and then after your flight, you can click the link in the email, and it'll show you exactly where you went, your GPS location, your altitude, your speed, etc. So it's good for recording your flight information as well, but it's just on your wrist. It's working in the background for you all the time. Very simple, quick, easy, and fast to set up. I find that if I try to use apps on the phone, I get impatient sometimes. I hate to take my phone out and turn it on, or if I forget to, things like that. So this just simplifies it. It's rugged, durable, and it just works every time.